Today I have another Plan With Me video. As you can see, I'm starting with my Studio Calico planner and I'm just taking out the pages to make it easier to stamp on. And you can see that there's some bleed through from the page before, but that's just because the stamp pads I use kind of seep through, so I just kind of try to work around it or over it on the next week. So instead of starting with some color or washi tape, I'm actually starting with this Instagram stamp. I am doing a few challenges on Instagram this month, so I decided to just start with this. I wanted to make a little tracker up in the notes section, and so I went ahead and stamped that using a dark gray stamp pad. And then I'm going to use this roller stamp from Studio Calico that makes a checklist. And I decided to use the circles, and like I said, I'm doing 4 different challenges, so I'm doing 4 rows, and the stamp itself has six check boxes in each lineup, so I'm going to go in and add a 7th. In retrospect, I would have done it the other way, just because the lines got kind of uneven. I would have used this stamp vertically instead of horizontally, but it's okay. It doesn't look perfect, but it'll work for what I'm trying to do. So the next thing I'm doing is I actually am going to put some washi tape up at the top. I got this heart washi tape at the Target One Spot, so for just $1. And I am just cutting the edges. I cut one in diagonal, laid it down, and then kind of looked to see where the closest full heart was, and then cut the other end diagonally as well. And that just added a bit of color, and it is the week of Valentine's Day, so I wanted to do some reds and pinks and use a lot of hearts, which you can see in the stamps around my workspace too. And so then I just used this reddish pink pen to write Instagram challenges. And what I love about these pens that I use is they have kind of a brush tip on one side and a marker tip on the other. So I use the marker to write Instagram challenges for kind of more control. And then I used one of these conversation heart stamps with a light gray ink pad up in the right corner, just to add a little decoration up there. I'm still just trying to figure out what kind of I want the week to look like, and so I really am just kind of winging it at this point. And then I go in with my favorite pen to use in my planner, and I'm writing in the specific challenges that I'm doing just to keep track from day to day. And I mark Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the days of the week across the top, and then the hashtag that I use for each challenge down on the right side. So once I write all that in, the unevenness of the circles isn't as noticeable, but I just pointed out there that some of the ink smeared a little bit, so I'm just going in with this white pen that kind of works as a really fine tip whiteout to cover it up. You probably couldn't even see the smudges in the video, but I could see them when I was doing it, so I just went ahead and did that. And next I'm using this stamp that I got at the Target One Spot too around Christmas, and it just says "With Love," and I'm using a light pink stamp pad to stamp that in the bottom corner. Again, I'm just kind of adding different elements and trying to figure out what I need for the week and what inspirational quotes or images I can put on there to kind of inspire the rest of the spread. So something that I do every week is mark the days that I'm posting on my blog. So I just use the initials with these stamps, these clear stamps on a clear acrylic block. And I'm actually stamping them in a bright red. And so I go ahead and do that on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then also on Saturday, which is when I send out my newsletter. And that's just kind of a fun way to see my blog schedule kind of as a whole. The big letters are kind of all I really need to see. And then here I'm going in with these little heart stamps, and one is a solid heart and then one is an outline. So I'm using the solid stamp first with a light gray and just doing 2 little hearts under each day that I'm posting. And then I'm going to use the outline stamp with the dark gray stamp pad and stamp right on top. And I find that this just creates a little bit more visual interest on the page. I like that it kind of gives it more of a handmade look, and it's easier than doing the outline and then coloring it in. And also you can use whatever color stamp pad you want. And now I'm just using this envelope stamp. So like I said, that's the day I send out my newsletter, and I like to use a little envelope. And now I'm just writing in some details. I have another planner that I use for my blog, like for to-do lists and scheduling and things like that. So mostly this is just a little reminder when I'm looking at the week as a whole, which days I'm posting, kind of the major things I need to do after it goes live, and then writing in to send out my newsletter. And the next thing I am doing is I'm actually looking to see if there's a TV icon on that set, and there's not. So I get out this set, and I'm just going to make a little combo of stamps. I'm taking a TV icon and then a stamp from this set that says shows to watch. I like to include this on my week because sometimes the night just kind of gets away from you, and it's nice to have a little reminder to set the DVR or just take a break for a little while. And I used that with a light gray stamp pad, but the TV icon didn't look quite as crisp as I wanted it to, so I'm just going to go over it with the dark gray. And I actually really liked how that looked with the dark gray and the light gray. And then I'm just writing in the shows that I watch on Wednesday and Sunday. It's also a fun thing to look back on at the end of the year, or even just going back through your old planner to see what shows you were keeping up with, and maybe shows that have been canceled that you love to watch or things like that. And the next thing I'm doing is using some of these stickers from Studio Calico. I'm just using this circle sticker with light pink and gray stripes to mark an appointment. I like that those stickers kind of stand out and you can just write directly on top of them. And then I'm going in with one of those brush tip markers and just writing Gentle Thursday. And you can see me checking there to see if it bleeds through, and it doesn't, which is really nice. That's just a little something I like to put up there. Usually Thursdays are pretty not that busy, so it's just nice to kind of take a break and have a gentle day. And then you can see me using this black and white washi tape that for some reason likes to rip up the tape beneath it, or the tape beneath it takes off the sticky. I don't know what it is, but I just put some sticky glue on there to stick down the parts that for some reason were not sticky anymore. I could have just ripped off a new piece, but I had already torn it long enough, so I just wanted to put some adhesive on it and make it work. So as you can see, the color scheme is kind of coming together. I'm mostly using kind of a cherry red with black and white and gray. And so I'm using this red brush tip pen to write in Valentine's Day. And I love using markers in my planner just to give my handwriting a little bit more boldness, and it adds a different look than using stamps or using just a black pen. And now I'm just going in with this washi. They're little lipstick kisses on clear tape, so I just kind of rip them and place them, and they just kind of blend into the paper. And now I'm using another one of those brush tip pens to write in Workday. Kind of like Thursday, Tuesday generally tends to be pretty open, so I like to kind of use that day to get ahead on my tasks for the week. So I'm going to also use this checklist stamp. And there's not enough room for the whole thing, so I'm just inking part of it and cleaning it off with a rag. You'll see me doing that on all my stamps as I go. And actually putting it back on the sheet. And then I'm just going to go in and fill in some of the tasks I know I want to do that day, like work on my blog post for Wednesday and work on my Instagram challenges for the day. And then I'll just leave those other boxes empty to fill in the day of or the night before, as I know kind of what I need to get done more specifically. And then I used another one of those conversation heart stamps with a red ink pad this time. And it says XOXO. And all of those conversation heart stamps were in a set that I got at, I think it was Michael's. But they're kind of a fun thing to pull out when the Valentine season comes around. And I'm sure they'd be so cute with pastel stamp pads as well. And you can see me going in here again with that white pen. I, for some reason, was having a lot of trouble with smudging as I was working on this spread. But I usually just use that white pen to cover up the bulk of the smudges and just kind of move on. And now I'm using these tiny little heart stickers to add just a little bit of decoration around that envelope icon. And those stickers are from Studio Calico. They often come in their kit. And as you can see, I love to use them. And now I'm just adding in more check boxes. I kind of have the main things that I'm doing for the week, so I'm just adding in these check boxes to fill in the day of, just to have them there and not have to draw them in or stamp them in when I'm trying to get to work. And then I'm using one of the brush tip pens again and writing in Valentine's Day. I don't know exactly what me and my girlfriends are doing, but I'm sure there will be something Valentine's-y happening. And you can see me struggle with this heart sticker. They're so tiny that I have trouble getting them where I want them. So I just stick it on this kind of flat tool I have to lay it down. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole spread. So I hope you enjoyed watching. and I hope this inspired you in some way. Be sure to check out the description box for more details, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.